What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another market recap. You just probably thought that I was going to give up, huh? I wasn't going to finish the week strong, but no. Guys, I am back. I'm here on Tuesday, and I fully plan to commit to making market recaps every day this week and onward. We are making this an everyday thing, and I know that by doing this, not only am I going to get better, but even if it just helps one person, I don't care if anyone watches this. I do not give a crap if anyone watches this. If one, it's gonna help me. Two, I know even if it helps someone, it is worth making. So, with that, guys, let's talk about the market today. A lot of people were very upset with the market. Let's check out this tweet from Dodgy. Just wait for price action like this, and you'll be a millionaire. 0 trades today. Not gonna lie, guys, I took 2 wins today, and I do not regret either of them. I think they were both really good trades. So I don't know, man. I found a couple good trades. So not sure. Now I do know what they're talking about though. Price action in general was very mediocre. Right, we have very choppy price action. And I will go over the 2 trades I took, but first I'm going to talk about the general idea of the day. We have this 1 hour gap here. You can see that is marked out with this wick, the difference between this wick and the end of this candle body here. And you can see the market comes back down and respects this gap. And then you can see at the bottom of this gap, we end up forming an SMT, confirming this as a buy model. You guys see the SMT where we have a low on the S&P, then a lower low, and then a low on NASDAQ and a higher low. And this is the case with, actually, you could mark it out just like this, right? We have SMT at these lows. And then, what's the aligned time frame with the 1 hour, guys? It's the 5-minute. So we have a 5-minute change in state of delivery all through here. But let's say you wanted to wait for SMT, right? You could take it on this. Let's say you took it on the initial one though, right? Here's that 5-minute change in state of delivery. And you can see how this is a buy model, right? 5-minute change state of delivery, 1 hour for value gap SMT. And check out how accurate this is, guys. First standard deviation, hit perfectly. Second standard deviation, hit. And then we go all the way up to where? The 4th standard deviation. Perfectly hit. So do you guys see how this is a buy model? Where we have, oh, and also, once again, OTE is tapped twice. So there's OTE. So here's the buy model, right? We have accumulation, manipulation below. Here's the 8:30 open. Manipulation is this. Accumulation, manipulation. And then we have distribution to the upside. And you can see how this is a buy model, right? Oh, and the other thing is we sweep out London's lows. So if I mark this out here, you can see we do in fact sweep out London's lows. So basically just a giant market maker buy model for the day. Now let's go and take a look at specifics on trades you could have taken. Now, today was a day where if you didn't see anything, it's a good day to stay away from the charts, because if I go down to the lower time frame, you can see that all throughout here, after market open, actually even before market open, we get very, very choppy price action. You can see all through here, market's very, very choppy. But there were two trades that I took. I don't know if I should go over the trades I took first, or I don't think really anyone took anything on Twitter. Like, if I go on Twitter real quick, you can see, like, for instance, Hydra didn't see anything. He said, saw a lot of people blow their accounts today. So because of that, I'm not going to, there's just not much on Twitter. So I'm just going to go over the trades that I took. And once again, very, very basic day. Just one giant market maker buy model throughout the day. And then I'll go over the trades I took. The trades I took were, we had this 15-minute BPR. So overlapping for value gaps, bullish and bearish for value gaps overlap with each other. There's that BPR. And then going down to the 1 minute. So for flow state, you need three things: sweep, higher time from key level. For me, that's essentially always fair value gaps. So BPR counts as a fair value gap, right? So we have a sweep, higher time frame for value gap, align time frame, change state of delivery. So this was the trade I took. So 15-minute BPR, sweep, align time frame, change state of delivery, and essentially I just targeted 1-to-1. I had it stop here, and I targeted the first standard deviation. Now, we did go to the second standard deviation, and I had runners to go to the second standard deviation, but I got stopped at break even. But I hit 1R here, so you can see that we hit the first standard deviation perfectly right away. And another reason that this is a good trade is because if I measure this consolidation out, you can see this is a giant liquidity pool, right? This is where most of the transactions within this consolidation happened, were around this first standard deviation. So maybe if I were to redo this, I would actually enter, maybe I would just take all off at that first standard deviation, because like if I pull up that map back out, right, there's not really that much liquidity down here. There's much more transactions that happened here than there is here. So if I were to redo this, I would maybe take all off at the first standard deviation, just because of that liquidity pool being there, right? So this was a nice 1-to-1 trade. Then the next trade I took was, we end up getting SMT with this low here. So there's the SMT. And then higher time frame for value gap here. So this is like a giant 15-minute for value gap. And then on the lower time frame, 30-second, we sweeped out this low here pretty aggressively. And on the 30-second, we inverse this fair value gap. And because of liquidity, I'm anticipating this very, very tiny micro gap to be inversed. So I'm not concerned about it, because this is a really nice accumulation range here. So simply I just targeted 1-to-1 here. So inversion, targeting 1-to-1, Once again, I like this a lot. Simply targeted this high, or like in here somewhere. And yeah, I wouldn't have targeted higher. I think this is the best place to target was the end of this accumulation, right? Because this is where the accumulation ends, right here. So if anything, you maybe want to take profit there because that's where the accumulation ends, because you can see we pushed down, but that would be less than 1R, so I decided to take profit there. And yeah, that was 1R. So, but other than that, guys, there wasn't a lot of opportunity in here. And it's just one of those days where you have to definitely be defensive. Now, I liked both the trades that I took. I don't regret them. I think they were both good. But yeah, like I said, definitely a day where you might want to stay away, just to prevent losses. You can see even Dodgy takes a loss here on paper. I would never take this trade, guys. Why would he take this with this giant wick? I can someone explain to me why he would do that? Because I don't understand that at all. But you know what? He tried that. I think that was a really bad trade. So, anyway, a couple other things to know about today that I thought were interesting were, if I pull this up, the time levels, right? We get midnight open, we manipulate down, we distribute up, right? You guys notice how when we get these midnight is like, it's like the opening price for the daily range. So if we manipulate down, if you go down first, a lot of time you're gonna want to look to distribute up. Same thing with 8:30. 8:30 is like the reference point for the session, right? 8:30 is the reference point for New York session. If we go down first, you're going to be looking for longs underneath 8:30 to take us higher. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. I also thought it was cool that the other thing I noticed about today, even though there wasn't anything really on Twitter, the other thing I noticed about today was, so that once again we sweep out London's lows, and check this out. This was a very nice 2022 model. We get a liquidity sweep, very clear break of structure, and once again, anytime you get a liquidity sweep of a significant low, that's going to be a higher probability low. But we get a very clear break here. Either one of these. So there's your break, liquidity sweep, break of structure. Then if I measure this out here from premium to discount, you can see this fair value gap is nicely placed right at equilibrium or discount or whatever you want to call it, right? So if you guys don't know how to trade the 2022 model, essentially you're looking for a liquidity sweep, break of an old high, which means you get a candle body close above, it's unlike chain stay delivery where you get a candle body close above the body, you have to get a candle body close above the wick for a break of structure. And then you look for the fair value gap at around equilibrium or just barely in discount. And then your stop loss goes at the low. And I just think this is cool because look how many times this 2022 fair value gap ends up getting respected. We get respecting we get respecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we aggressively expand to the upside off of it. And so theoretically, if you had your stop loss at the low, you can see how this would have been very, very high RR, right? So the 2022 model, if you know what you're doing, can be very, very powerful. It's hard for a lot of people to trade, though. I don't personally recommend it because, yeah, it's really easy to mess up, and I don't know. I never got good at it, but if you guys can master it, then you should go for it. Maybe, it might be your thing. So I don't know. I shouldn't say something is your thing or something isn't your thing. You just gotta try and see what works for you. Another thing I noticed is we have no fair value gaps all throughout this price leg, but we do have one here. So this is a 5-minute fair value gap. And on the 30-second, so 5-minute fair value gap aligns with the 30-second, we get a sweep of this low here. So sweep into the 5-minute gap, change in state of delivery right here. I mean, you could say right there, but personally I would use the more obvious one right here. So 5-minute fair value gap, 30-second change in state of delivery. And once again, guys, the rest is history. Stop loss at the low. And you can see how this delivers us much, much higher. We go perfectly to the 3rd standard deviation and then perfectly to the 4th standard deviation. That's about as perfect as you can get, guys. That's crazy. I didn't even realize it was that perfect. But yeah, right up to that 4th standard deviation. And yeah, that was really, really nice. You don't have to go for 4R. Personally, I just try and go for 1R. I try and take at least half off at 1R and then take the rest off in between 1 and 2R. So I'd probably go something like this. This is for both inversions and flow state, by the way. This is what I try and do. I try and go for 1R. So at least half off at 1R. And then I hold the runner for in between 1 and 2R. So it would look something probably like this. 5-minute fair value gap, 30-second change state delivery. And you could go like TP1 here and then like TP2 maybe like here or something. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that was a pretty good trade as well. But the reason that's good is because it is the only clear and obvious fair value gap within this whole entire move. There's no fair value gaps in here besides this one. And yeah, that was its own model actually. But I think that about covers it for today. We do have this fair value gap here. You can see this ends up getting respected. But yeah, this was a hard day to trade. So if you didn't catch anything, that's good. You should just try and sit on your hands on days like today because this is very, very hard price action to trade. But the thing I liked about today was we did get a very clear buy model to the upside. So with that, guys, hopefully I didn't bore you too much. And if you stuck around to the end, leave a comment. Say, what should you say? Say, I don't know, flow state. Comment flow state if you made it all the way to the end. And yeah, guys, appreciate you guys. If anyone's watching, I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.